Hello and welcome to another stocks update. Today we want to talk about Abercrombie and Fitch, ANF, one of the probably most interesting stocks at the moment, to be honest. Quite unusual for a clothing company, I have to say. I think it did even outperform some of the AI stocks, actually. So quite interesting performance. Obviously, getting into a long trade up here is not really reasonable anymore, but it obviously rallied substantially. I think a lot of people are interested in this stock and potentially an update. And also, we're now at a key turning point. Okay, so I want to talk about that in this video. We can see that the move up looks like an overlapping diagonal structure, because you can see here that we only rallied in 3 waves. So it's a pretty clear 3-wave move up here, and it's a pretty clear 3-wave move up here. And when we measure on the log scale the length of the wave 1 with the Fibonacci extension tool, we compare that to the length of the 3rd wave, then the 1.236 extension level, 123.6 Fib extension, is normally an ideal target. I think it's even the most common target for a 3rd wave in an ending diagonal pattern. So it did what it needed to do. It formed 3 waves. We can't expect 5 because wave 1 didn't have 5. Ending diagonals have to be so-called 3-3-3-3-3 structures. So in all 5 waves, yeah, we're looking at 3 subwaves, which makes the interpretation somewhat difficult, and trading a diagonal is always difficult. We're not dealing with an impulse here, so it's more difficult to trade it, and also sometimes the Fibonacci levels are a bit off, but this one worked out nicely. I can only say that this is just an ideal target for the 3rd wave. Is it over or not, the 3rd wave? I assume it, yeah. I assume it, and I think we are probably looking ahead, looking forward to, it depends on the perspective, but we have to expect several months of correction here, okay? I see currently several stocks top potentially. We've had Netflix, Amazon, few others are forming tops, Apple, yeah, so they could all start substantial pullbacks. ANF might not be an exception. Obviously looking at the S&P 500 as well with a very similar perspective. Now, the idea would be here, you can see it even that in the C wave, even 5 waves are complete. Now we're dealing with this 4th wave pullback, which is an ABC structure, okay? So there are several levels we can now look at. I mean, at the moment, it is not possible to say with high confidence where the wave 4 is going to end. It's not even possible to fully confirm the wave 4 has started. I assume it at the moment. I assume it because of the momentum to the downside and the reaction to the 1.236 extension. Yeah. So, however, it is too early to say, yep, wave 4 has definitely started. Therefore, I also cannot give you really a target for wave 4, but we can talk about the relevant standard support levels and what I assume where the price might be heading. First of all, if a wave 4 is unfolding, it could be a triangle, but most likely an ABC structure. The A wave can be an impulse. The A wave normally reacts to the 23.6 Fib level of the 3rd wave. That's $82. There are additional levels at $101 where we could see a bit of a bounce. Yeah, that's a structural support. And then the 100% extension at $89 can act as support. So maybe between 89 and 82, we might see the A wave complete. Then we could get a B wave rally. And only if we get a B wave that's clear, we can calculate with high precision a target for wave C. The next question will be, is this going to be all of wave 4? Or is it going to be a larger A wave that leads to a B wave rally and then another C wave down? But it's too early to do that. Okay, that's way too early to talk about that. But there are some standard support levels. Also, there's some Fibonacci confluence. So typical target for a 4th wave, 38.2 retracement. Yeah, for the 4th wave. Typical target for a 4th wave, the 38.2 Fib level, in this case, $58.70. There's also additional Fibonacci confluence at the 78.6 extension. We know that oftentimes a wave 4 in a pullback tests the 78.6 extension, and funny enough, it overlaps with the 38.2 retracement. Yeah, they are fairly similar. There's different ways of measuring it. Then the 50% Fibonacci level is additional support and could also be a good target for a wave 4, maybe a more extended wave 4. The golden ratio level is quite deep for a wave 4, even in a diagonal. But we also need to consider the trend channel here, parallel trend lines, yeah? So basically connecting waves 1 and 3 together, adding it to the low of the wave 2, and then we get a channel. So at the moment, it's too early to say where exactly we're going to land, but I'd say there is additional confluence, and just in terms of probabilities, it's this area between $60 and $45. So that gives you ideally here a perspective of where we are in the structure. However, that assumption that wave 4 has started is only valid based on the assumption that, or based on the situation condition that the price stays below the 2024 high, which was at $138. If we see from here a break above that high, I would have to assume that wave C of 3 is still unfolding. That would be my alternative perspective. I told you about my primary. This would be my alternative. And then the next upside target would be $180. But the highest probability element of this rally is most likely done. The highest, it's all about probabilities, right? And reward and risk. From here, I don't see a clear long trade setup at the moment. Yeah. I also don't see a short trade setup necessarily. Maybe if we get a corrective rally, that could be a short trade setup. Yeah? But there is currently just a red candle. What else? Yeah, and once the wave 4 is complete, the wave 5 should take us to the next 1 or 2 fib levels at 180 or even $280. But that's more long term, because I think, you know, if you look at how long this wave 2 lasted, I think it was a year roughly. Yeah. Bit more than a year, then the wave 4 should also take at least several months, right? I mean, there is no exact rule about this. You know, there aren't even really guidelines. At least the guidelines that exist, they're a bit useless, but there should be a degree of proportionality between wave 2 and 4 from a timing point of view. So yeah, I'm looking at potentially here, I would say at least 6 months of correction. But the condition is we stay below the 2024 high. Any further extension is, of course, possible in a third wave. Third waves love to extend, but it's just about probabilities. I don't see the high. I don't see it at the moment from what I can see in the chart right now with high probability. That's my update about ANF. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, then please check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You'll find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.